Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of One-on-One with Randy. We are sitting here in the historic Ohio Theater, and today's episode is all about getting you more information on how to break into the arts industry. We're going to sit down with Denise Rehg from CAPA to learn more about that industry. All right, Denise, thanks for joining us today. If you could, for starters, just tell us a little bit about CAPA and the types of entities that are underneath this large umbrella that you have here.
Well, thank you so much, Randy, and thanks for having me. And let me tell you, CAPA is a unique model in the fact that we're doing this shared service program. So people think of us as a theater, which we are. We own the Ohio, and we own the Palace, and we've got contracts with the Lincoln for 99 years. And there's all kinds of things going on. And while people might know us as that, what we do more now is, and what we're becoming known better for, is arts management. So we have the symphony and the opera in Catco, and the Lincoln, and the McCoy. I'm going to miss a couple there, but in totality, there's 7 groups that we are providing full back office services for, which means that we have an accounting team that handles their accounting, and we have a development team that handles their fundraising, and we have a marketing team that handles their marketing. So we use sort of an agency model, and it's really about providing those services that we know collectively we can get a better deal for, we can get higher levels of expertise, and we can do some economies of scale.
Great. So Denise, what a lot of our students, of course, are very interested in is how CAPA goes about recruiting staff for new entry-level positions or internships.
Well, we are, of course, being a nonprofit that's serving a lot of our organizations, we are always shorthanded, both from a staff perspective, but we are increasingly looking for interns to help us out and to give great work experience too. And I will tell you that frequently we take those interns and we hire from within that pool.
Great.
So we've had good luck with OSU interns, and do you want me to tell you how we find out about them?
Absolutely.
So it's really, really interesting because of who we are, we find that we have many faculty members in the College of Arts and Sciences serving on our boards.
Great.
So actually our board connections is important to us. And so we will frequently, I'm going to tell you, I've gone to Mark Shonda and said to Mark Shonda, do you have some students who might be interested in an internship? And increasingly what we're finding, because you don't want to keep bothering them about those things, is referrals from other interns is actually a huge way for us to get information.
Good.
So we do use your internal posting system.
Excellent.
But,
love to hear that.
And that's how we got started. We got started by using the internal posting system. And when we are hiring a group of them, like before the fall, we generally like to have a group of them. We will go to the internal posting system because we can hit a number of students that way. But after that initial hit, we are generally getting the referrals from other interns or from people on staff or from people who sent in resumes unsolicited to the head of HR, and she will pass them on to me. So I think that's primarily what we're doing, and it's worked out really well. We always have in development 2 or 3 interns at any given time.
Good. There you go. Students, make sure that you're looking at FutureLink all the time, like Denise said. So do you also utilize systems like a Monster, for instance, or Hot Jobs, anything like that?
Now, if we're looking to employ somebody at an entry-level job, we will post in all the regular places that an employer posts. So we put together the job posting and we will send it out to Monster, and it depends on what the pool of candidates are, because we will start with some, and as people respond, we will decide how many more we need to do.
Sure.
But it doesn't take much anymore. You
Right.
put it out there.
Right.
And in CAPA, people think of CAPA as an arts organization, but you have to remember that really we are, especially at CAPA, so much so the administrative side of what we do. We do not meddle with the artistic operations. We really focus on the business side of the house. So we're always looking for people who might want to take a look at accounting, or might want to take a look at marketing, or might want to take a look at special events. We always seem to have students who really want to get involved with the special events, and there's ample opportunity here for that. So, nobody should hesitate to just pick up the phone, send unsolicited resumes, go to your faculty members, take a look at our website, see who's serving on the boards. Whatever it is, you want to distinguish yourself from the crowd, because there are lots of people looking for internships these days. But there are lots of departments in which you can do it here.
Great. So Denise, as students start to get towards graduation and begin their job search, a lot of times they have notions about how to break into an industry. Are there any sort of misunderstood notions that a student might have about breaking into this role or your industry?
I think one of the things people need to remember when they're applying for jobs, and this is across the board in nonprofits, it's not just about the arts, but in particular about the arts, people say, I'm going to apply to the arts, I must have some sort of art background. And that is an absolute misconception because, like I said, we need accountants just as much as the accounting firm does. We certainly need dedicated, committed individuals, and that's the thing that I think nonprofits look for most. Is this person going to stay with us? Are they going to be committed to the mission? Are they really going to be able to handle the fact that they're not going to get paid as much in the nonprofit industry as they are in for-profit?
Absolutely.
That's a reality. That is not a misconception. That is something that is absolutely true. But I think just in general, people have misconceptions about what it means to work in nonprofit and how that works out. And, you know, I have to tell you that sometimes I think political science students make really, really good nonprofit people because they have this concept of society and what society needs and giving back to society. But who would ever think that political science people would make good nonprofit people? But they do. And so I think that what I would just say is I think it's really, really important, especially in today's market, that the students keep their minds open to the realm of possibility and they're not afraid to ask. I'm going to tell you, the way to break in is to differentiate yourself from the crowd. And it doesn't matter what industry that's in, and it doesn't matter what the pay scales are going to be within the industry. We in the nonprofit community, as much as in the for-profit community, look for those people who distinguish themselves and exemplify the values that we possess to the highest possible level. So how do you set yourself apart? So,
Denise, we have a lot of employers that come to campus to talk to students, come to different career events, employer panels, things like that. Arts industry, we don't see on campus a lot for those types of events. Why do you think that is?
I really think it's just a matter of staff economics in the sense that we don't have enough. I mean, the reality is in a big company, they've got people designated to do jobs like that. And in the world of the arts, we have to take somebody off of what we would perceive to be their normal job to find extra time when they already don't have enough time to come to those. So, you know, I think that what we really would work for the student body and what we'd really like to see is for the students to be very, very proactive with us because we feel inadequate for not being there to begin with and feel that we're missing opportunities. But I think that we also assume that those who really want to work with us will take the extra steps to get in front of us.
So Denise, as we sit here about a month away from classes starting again in autumn at Ohio State, a lot of students are looking for opportunities. Is there a particular time of year where CAPA looks to bring in new volunteers, new interns, even new entry-level staff?
Well, coincidentally, the academic year and the art season coincide with one another.
Great.
So it is great because I'm going to tell you, the time we're looking for them is now, and we're doing it because you are coming into session. I mean, we know that that is our opportunity to grab some students who'd like to get that work experience and get exposure to how the real business world in the arts or anywhere else works because they're very similar. And so we wait with bated breath for the Ohio State semester to start so that we can get it out there. And that's the time of year that we will actually put a posting up within your system versus word of mouth, and so people should be on the lookout. But that is the hope would be that somebody would start with us in August and stay with us through June or May, as it may be.
Good. Good. Denise, so the last question that we have for you today is just one last piece of advice maybe that you can share with our students about how they can really break in, get their foot in the door, get their resume in front of you here at CAPA.
Well, they can always send it to us unsolicited, but I would say follow-up there would be key. Again, because we're so overburdened with work, if you're persistent, we will pay attention. But sometimes, while in a in a more conventional situation, you might be able to send it and you get a word from somebody in the HR department. Here, you would send it and you need to follow up 2 or 3 times to say, "I'm still out there. I'm still interested. Do you think there might be a place?" We desperately want, I mean, as part of the community, we're a nonprofit, as part of the community, we want to help with the development of our young people too. It's just making it a priority with all the other noise. So if you let us know that you want to work here and you've got the right background, the right credentials, then I would say persistence and a little bit of proactive aggression to get that. The aggressiveness would actually be in order. I don't mean to be aggressive,
Right.
Yell at us or anything,
Right.
but proactivity goes a long, long way in the nonprofit world.
Excellent. Good. Well, Denise, we'd like to thank you for just sitting down with us for a few minutes today here on this episode of One-on-One with Randy. I know our students are really going to appreciate hearing all that you had to say.
Well, I really, really appreciate the opportunity, and I hope there are students out there who will be looking us up starting the fall.
Great. We'd like to thank Denise once again for joining us on this episode of One on One with Randy. We're currently standing in Columbus Commons. We got the symphony practicing behind us. So today, all about the arts. Make sure to check out our YouTube channel, Arts and Sciences Career Services, for more great videos and episodes. And also follow us on Twitter at ASC Career. We'll see you next time on One with Randy.